After explaining all the detailed halachos that are given to the Jews after Matan Torah, at the end of this week's Parsha, the Torah resumes the narrative of the Jews at Har Sinai. In fact, it actually goes out of order, and it goes to before the giving of the Torah, and talks about how Moshe received the Torah. The Torah tells us, Vayavoy Moshe b'soicha anan. Moshe went into the cloud in order to receive the Torah. Rashi, the foremost commentator on the Torah, comments on this and says that when the Torah says that Moshe went into the cloud, it did not look like a cloud. Rashi tells us, Anan zeh kimin ashanhu. This cloud looked somewhat similar to smoke. You may ask, how did Moshe go into a cloud of smoke and not get dirty? Rashi continues, Hashem made a path through the smoke for Moshe that he was able to get through and get the Torah without getting dirty. The question is, from where in the world does Rashi know this? Rashi's job is usually explaining the simple meaning of the pasuk. So if there is something that is so blatantly against the simple way of reading it, there has to be conclusive evidence for that to be according to Rashi's own fundamental principles. So in this case, why does Rashi deviate from the simple meaning and explain something completely off script? Additionally, assuming this is actually what happened, why did Hashem make an unnecessary miracle? If he wanted to create a cloud, he could make a nice white fluffy cloud. If he wanted to make thick smoke with a path in between for Moshe, he could have done that. Why did he have to make a cloud that gave off the external appearance like smoke? In order to understand this, we have to ask the exact same question just a little bit later in the timeline of this story. The scene is set, Hashem is about to give the Torah to the Yidden, there is thunder, there is lightning, the Yidden are ready for their moment, their mission, and between Hashem and Moshe, as we spoke last week, the Aseres HaDivros, the 10 Commandments, are given over. However, the Torah describes that the way Hashem said the Aseres HaDivros was with a koil gadol, a great voice, V'loy Yasaf, and no echo. The same question comes here. Why is there an unnecessary miracle? Hashem could have spoke and there was an echo. The science of an echo is that it bounces off, especially when you're in between multiple mountains, which is exactly the setting that the Jews were at. So why did Hashem have to make a miracle and take away the echo? But explains the Rebbe, it's very simple, because the science of an echo is that these sound waves bounce off objects around them. But when it comes to words of Torah don't bounce off objects. They permeate. They get completely absorbed and enveloped within the person listening to it. And therefore, the lack of an echo was not a miracle, it was a natural consequence. If there would have been an echo, that would have been the miracle, and that didn't happen. Hashem has the very same mindset when it comes to our discussion in this week's Parsha as well. Hashem is telling Moshe that the Torah was not permeated within you. The Torah was not absorbed within you for no reason at all. It was given to you for a mission, for a purpose, for you to go out and elevate the world. And with that comes a very strong lesson that Hashem tells Moshe right here. You may perceive the world as something dark. You may perceive the world as something holy. You may perceive the world as a place that has no potential for complete holiness and good. But what you have to know is that the smoke in the world is really just a cloud. Rashi is giving his explanation to show us what the theme of Matan Torah is. To take the Torah that was given to you and go out and overcome the challenges that aren't really challenges. To go out and surpass the obstacles that aren't really obstacles that are designed to set you back. Anan zeh kimin ashan. This smoke was never really real. It's all just a cloud disguised behind the challenges. The greatest blessings that we have come through the struggles that we take. And therefore, Rashi's explanation is perfectly fitting over here. However, one may have a big problem. Why should I engage with the world if I will get dirty myself? As the saying goes, if you fight with someone who's dirty, even though you might win, you'll become dirty as well. So why should I engage with the world if I can just stay to myself and be perfectly fine? Rashi continues his explanation that Hashem told Moshe, no, I am making a path through the smoke, and if you follow my path and if you follow my ways, everything will go okay. Hashem tells Moshe, I am giving you this Torah for you to follow my ways. If you walk through the smoke, through the grounds of the path that Hashem sent and that Hashem put before you in order for you to succeed, then there is absolutely no room for failure and there is only room for success. And therefore the lesson for us is clear. Torah is absorbed within every one of us whether we like it or not. It's our job to use it, to walk through the path of Torah and mitzvahs that Hashem gave us, and of course, not to shy away from the darkness. Don't be afraid of the darkness, don't be afraid of the unholiness, and don't be afraid of any challenge that you may have. By doing this, by having this mindset, by overcoming these challenges, by accomplishing these goals, we will surely be able to bring the coming of Mashiach. May he come speedily in our days. Wishing you a good Shabbos.